Hi guys, good evening everybody, hope you are well. Let me just like down a second because that's really bright. I don't know what I've done over there. Good evening, I hope everybody is okay. Let me just get that right. Okay, so hope everybody is well. Happy New Year. Put that on there. Okay. So say good evening in the comments, guys, as you jump on. I think it's recording, so it's all good because I always forget that. So I know not everybody will be able to make it. I fully understand. It's like some people are still, sorry, let me just need my IT department and he's upstairs. Good evening. Hello. Just scoffing dinner, so excuse nobody. And honestly, it is absolutely fine. If I would love to see all your beautiful faces, as always, but I would much rather that you were on here. Right, okay, that's working. Right, I'll leave it alone. I'd much rather that you were on here. And if you can hear this, then obviously that is amazing. Emma, I've got my mug. Cheers. I've got my, Emma bought me this for Christmas. It's an affirmation.
Oh,
Yay. Love it. Rude. I saw Dan with it the other day. I was like, that is my mug. Get off.
Hello.
So, okay, guys, right. I am going to get right down to business because I fully understand, like I said, that some people are still very much going to be in like post New Year. You know, the kids are not back at school yet. My kids actually go to school on Wednesday. I know in some parts of the country they don't go back till next week, so I didn't know like how many people were going to be around tonight, like who was going to be around, but I am recording this so we can share this with team members, and it's always really good for a point of reference. I did actually go back earlier today and I listened to when I did this last year, which is crazy really. Like I know everybody says it and it's such a cliche, but I don't actually know where this year has gone. Like it literally seems like a few weeks ago that I was doing this Zoom last year, but here we are. I'm in a different house, a different office, and we are in a different year. So really important, I feel personally, at the beginning of the year, to set some goals, to start thinking about what you want to achieve that year and beyond. You may never have set goals before. We're going to talk about that in a moment. But I just wanted to get it in as soon as we could, just to get you all started on the right foot. And so we can go forward into 2023 and beyond. This is going to be talking about not just this year, but like the year ahead as well. Sorry, let me just close the door.
Right now at Ren, there's
somebody has got the telly on or something. I can hear me. If you could mute yourself, I think I can mute everybody, but I can hear somebody's TV in the background. So if you could mute yourself, that'd be awesome. Just so we can't hear it on the recording. At the end, I will obviously unmute everybody. If you've got any questions, like note them down, or if you want to like put your hand up or drop them in the chat, obviously I will answer them at the end. But I am just going to dive right in and get started. I have made some notes because obviously I want you to be able to have value and things that you can take away, and actually tangible tasks that you can take away and that you can implement into your business and to your life. So first of all, if you are new and this is your first kind of like group Zoom, this is something that we will be doing more as we go into the year. We will be having guest speakers coming on in the group as well over the year. I've been sorting some of those things out. So very exciting, but it's really important just to come together at the beginning of the year and to think about what you want to achieve. Because I always think if you don't set goals, if you don't have like a clear vision of what you're aiming for, it's like getting in a car and wanting to get to a destination and not having a sat nav. And you are just going to be getting in that car and you're just going to be driving around roundabouts and you don't know where you're going to go. And sometimes on that journey, on that route, there might be diversions. You might get, there might be a roadblock. There might be something that you need to get over. But it's really good just to have that focus in front of you, so you know what you're aiming for and you know like to keep going. So your goals are going to be so personal to you, and that's something that I need to stress right from the beginning. it is so important when you are setting goals. If you haven't got them right now, like that is absolutely fine. If you haven't got your word for this year, that is absolutely fine. It's only the 2nd of January. Like, you have time, but do not panic. Do not do not worry, because that is the purpose of tonight, because I want to give you some tools that I've learned over the last well, it's nearly 10 years I've been an entrepreneur now. I've been working for myself, and obviously a lot of them have become more into fruition. I always get that word wrong, since I've been with Scentsy. But a lot of these things, without even realizing it, I used to do when I was a fitness instructor, when I was working for myself then. And it's something that I would never claim to be any expert, but all I do know is in life and in business, what's got me to where I wanted to be is by taking advice or listening to people that had already been there and done it. And that's how I've learned, and then implemented it in my own personal, unique way that is authentic to me. So all I can ever do is share what has worked. You might listen to all this tonight and think, oh, do you know what? I'm not going to do that. And that's absolutely fine. It is your business, your life, your future. But all I can do, or all I know, is that by doing these things, by setting these goals, by having these systems, by implementing these things into my daily, monthly, yearly life, the things that I've had on my goal board have all come true. Don't ask me why. It's not magic, I'm sure, but a lot of the people that I follow in Scentsy and just in business in general, I make it a regular habit of mine to listen to podcasts, to read books, to listen to trainings from entrepreneurs from all walks of life, not just from Scentsy, not just from direct sales, not just from network marketing. And what I'm learning is a lot of the habits and strategies and things that they do, they run right across lots and lots of different fields. There's a lot of things that business owners do, and goal setting is always on there. Goal setting and setting goals is always on there. So it's really, really, really important. So first thing I want to ask you, see, I've said all of that, none of that without looking at my notes. So let's see if, oh yeah, so what I wanted to say as well was, and this is why I don't always write notes, because sometimes it feels a bit scripted, and, you know, I like to speak from my heart and speak from my soul, and hopefully you will take something away from tonight. And the reason I always say is it's so important to try and get onto live trainings if you can, or get to events. One thing I've learned from doing this is that every single time I listen to a training or I go to an event, there might be just like one sentence or one word or one phrase that stands out to me, and I will remember that forever. Like, I'll remember that, and I'll reference it going forward. One thing that's always stood out to me that I heard very, very early on in my journey with network marketing is that things in your life and things in your business, life is never happening to you, it's happening for you. And that one sentence, it's a Tony Robbins quote, that one sentence has stayed with me forever. And that's just one example. I reference that all the time with my kids, with my friends, with my family, with you guys. Life is never ever, no matter how hard it seems, it's never happening to you. It's happening for you, because you can always learn something and you can always grow from it. So that's just one example, because that's stuck in there. So it's really important to turn up to trainings and be around communities and people that hopefully are going to inspire you, because that you will take something away and you can share that with your teams as well. So setting goals is like a roadmap. So thankful that Emma kindly pushed me to come to World Tour. Oh my God, I'm so excited that you're coming. It's going to be amazing. I'm so buzzing, so excited. Okay, so goal setting Zoom for 2023. It is your year. It is your year ahead of you. What lies in front of you is your year, however you want that to, however you want that to be. I actually made a little reel about this morning, because I was driving to the gym and like, this is what is in my mind. So many people come to a new year and they'll say like, oh, last year was a bit rubbish. And I don't think people mean to say it intentionally, but they go, I hope next year is going to be better. The only way next year, this year, next year, any year in your life is going to be better is if you decide to make it so, is if you decide to put the plans into place and take the action to make it happen. Because you, whether you realize it or not, are 100% in control of your life. There are always going to be external circumstances that happen that are completely out of your control, but it always comes back to that circle of control and focusing on the things that you can control. Even when things are, you know, going a bit wild, going a bit crazy, there is always things that you can focus on. So focus on the circle of control. Do not focus on external circumstances that you don't have control of. And the first one, like I said, is goal setting. This is a topic that I am so passionate about. I could talk about it all night. I'm going to try and condense this into an hour because I don't want to keep you all evening, but we're going to talk about goal setting. We're going to talk about vision boards, and we're going to talk about finding your why, and that might change over your time with Scentsy. I know my why now is completely different to when I started, but if you are just, you know, going along in your goals are life, Caroline. Yes, exactly. If you are just like going along in your business and not really knowing why you're doing it, on the days when it gets, you know, it might get a bit quiet, or it might get a bit tricky, or you're going to reach a hurdle, or, you know, the days that you're not motivated, if you don't know why you're doing it, you're going to give up, you're going to quit, because motivation is fleeting. Motivation is not always going to be there. If you only ever did anything when you felt motivated, you would never do anything in life. You have to be disciplined. And if you are going to continue to be disciplined, then you have to know why you are doing something. Otherwise, you won't continue to do it. So, like I said, all I can ever do is share what has worked for me, share content that has inspired me, share strategies and tasks that can help you going forward. What you then choose to take from that, my friends, that is down to you. So first of all, drop in the comments. Some of you have obviously been around for a while, so I know the answer to this question, but drop in the comments. Have you ever made a vision board? Let me know in the comments below if you've ever made a vision board. Yes, no, 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 nope, still haven't done one. Okay, that is fine. Never. Yes, yes, not yet. Okay, every January. Right, amazing. So if you haven't, that's not a problem. Like I said to you, if you come to this Zoom tonight and you have never made a vision board, not set your goals for the year, haven't got your word that you want to focus on, that's okay, because these goals that I want you to set and the things that I want you to focus on has to come from your heart and has to come from within you. If you're just scribbling things down for the sake of it, they're not going to be real, and they're not going to be authentic. So I was on my head and journal, but not on a board. It's a must this year. Okay, not with my sense business. Okay, amazing. And do you know what I was just going to say? If you're journaling, if you're writing things down, if you're putting them in the notes on your phone, if you're writing them in a notebook, that's okay, as long as you're getting that out somewhere. Some people like to do vision boards and they like to cut out pictures of what they're aiming for. The things I say I'm going to do. I start off with good intentions, then it slips. Exactly that. And setting goals is going to help you with that, because so many people have these amazing intentions, and then a few weeks in, it's about doing the things that you said you were going to do, and the feeling of doing them has left you, and then you have to keep doing them. So who tagged me in this the other day? It was Wendy Howell shared a reel, which was a snippet from a podcast with Ashley Azalea's dad, the Ashley Kane, the guy who lost his daughter and has done all this charity work, raising money in her memory for children's leukemia, I believe it is. And he said it's find it where success comes when you find the magic in like the monotonous, in the mundane. People think success is all amazing and it's all brilliant and you've achieved all these goals. He said, but to actually get there, it's really long and mundane and not boring, but like you have to be consistent day after day after day after day after day after day after day. And it's so true. And it is true with fitness, and it is true with relationships, and it is 100% true with your business. It is doing the consistent things over and over and over again. And quite a famous Fraser Brooks saying in this industry is consistency over intensity every single time. You don't just shower on a Sunday and that keeps you clean for the rest of the week. You have to shower every single day. Maybe I need to tell Harry that a little bit more. That boy can spray aftershave till the cows come home, but I have to like drag him out of bed into the shower. So It's 100%, Emma, exactly. It's the work that you do behind the scenes. It's not just all the fun stuff that you see on social media, like that's amazing. But so many people come into this business and they just think, oh, I'm going to put on a couple of posts on Facebook, and it's the work that you do behind the scenes that is what is going to grow your business. And I know I called this a goal setting Zoom, but the reason I called it as well, let's gain some momentum and let's dream bigger, is because all of this stuff that we're talking about, all of this stuff is what is going to hopefully light a little fire inside of you. It's hopefully the things that you're going to think, do you know what, if they've done it, I can do that too. If they've done it, if that person's done it, then why the hell can't I do it? Because I certainly know that when we went to Mexico on our first incentive trip, which was absolutely wonderful, and I was pregnant with Finlay at the time, and Dan had been very, very supportive of me with my business. I was a director. No, I was a director when I went on the cruise, so it wasn't Dan's first incentive trip. I was a star director. And talking about like that fire being switched on and being around energy. So we'd gone to Mexico, and he'd always been really, really supportive of what I did, but it was always my thing. It was always like my Scentsy business. And that week, that spending that 5 or 6 days with people that had been in this business for years, people like couples that were earning a full-time income, like speaking to people who had been on this journey, and I literally saw like a light switch on inside him that week. And he said when we got back, he's like, I realized now, like I saw what you saw. Like if the way I view it and the way I see it is that there is nothing in this world that is impossible. In your business, there literally are many, 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 many people that have been before you, not just me, like many, many people that have been before you and have achieved wonderful things with Scentsy. And every single person listening to this Zoom right now, and every single person listening to the replay is capable of doing that. Every single person is capable of reaching superstar director if you want to, if that is your goal. If you want to reach director and work your current job, like that's absolutely fine. And this is why it's so important to start to dream a little bit bigger than you ever really thought possible, because we are the only people that like put limitations on ourselves. There are absolutely no limitations in this business, in this life, or in this world other than the ones that you choose to put on yourself. And it is all a choice. Those limitations that are in your mind and inside you, you're choosing to like limit yourself. Well, don't do that. Please don't do that. Like, you are so capable of anything you set your mind to, and especially in your Scentsy business. There is no prerequisite for being a Scentsy consultant. Something that I'm going to do going forward into the year is, some of you will have seen, Lisa and I were talking, I put up a little caption. I'm going to start like, I don't know, like a playlist almost of, I'm going to interview different people right across the Scentsy community and ask them 10 questions, the same questions, and I'm going to call it Diary of a Scentsy Consultant. So you can see, you're going to have so much back catalogue of content to see that there is no certain person that can be successful in Scentsy. You don't have to have a certain experience. You don't have to have a certain set of skills, because whatever background you have come from, you can apply them to your Scentsy business, because authenticity is, as we all know, one of the Scentsy core values. So 100%, you need to start dreaming bigger. So whatever you think you're, what you can achieve, you need to take that and you need to times it by 100 or more, because you absolutely can do it. Okay, so right, I've just said that bit, whatever fitness you're in. So whatever industry you're in, I'd obviously written fitness. I came from a fitness background. There are so many similarities that I've been able to bring over, about whether it's about mindset, or whether it's about focus, or whether it's about discipline. There are teachers, what an amazing, we have teachers in the Scentsy world. What an amazing background to bring into Scentsy. I had no leadership experience, absolutely zero. So I've had to learn that. So that's an area that I've had to work on. But whatever background you are from, you can apply that to your Scentsy business. So consistency, we've already talked about that. Grow the person, grow the business. That is 100%. Got to see, I've looked at my notes and I've lost my train of thought already. So you can't drive a car without a sat nav. We've talked about that. And you are 42% more likely to achieve your goals if you write them down. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there because I'm going to move over to this side of my notes in a minute. What I've actually done is I have actually been onto tonyrobbins.com and taken, if I'm sure you all know who Tony Robbins is. If you don't, go and Google him. He's literally one of the most wonderful business life coaches in the world, uber successful. And he talks, the first training I ever watched about goal setting was his. So for me personally, I find him mega inspiring, and I just loved how he simplifies goal setting. So do you know how to set goals? Next question in the comments before we move on to the next section. Who in the comments, and be honest, because the thing is, when I ask these questions on here, this doesn't affect my life. You need to be honest with yourself, because the only way that you ever can move forward is with self-reflection. And the only way you're ever going to move forward is actually being honest with yourself and say, right, do I do these things? If I don't, maybe I need to start doing them. So who honestly at the beginning of every single month sets goals for themselves in their business? Honestly. No, not every single one. No, maybe once in 2 years. No, think them, but don't always write them. Okay, okay, not properly. Yes, hell yes. And I stick them on my fridge so I can see them. And you send them to me, Caroline. So, okay, if you don't do that, honestly, I promise you, if you start doing it, it will have a definitive impact on your business this year. Without a shadow of a doubt, it doesn't matter where I am. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. The 1st of September, I was laid on a sun lounger in Ibiza, and my goals were written in the notes section on my phone, and they were transferred over into my diary when I got home. Honestly, don't ask me why. Don't ask me the science behind it, but I am telling you, if you actually, on the 1st of every single month, with regard, I mean, you can obviously set goals for other things in your life, but this was obviously in regards to your Scentsy business. If you physically write 3 to 5 goals that you want to achieve in your Scentsy business every single month, something will switch on in your brain, and you will have a point of reference to come back to every single day. If you set yourself a PRV goal, for example, you then literally have a number that you can break down into weekly and daily goals that you can then aim for every single day with your PRV. If you have a goal of, I would like to sponsor 2 people this month, you then know that you need to be having a certain amount of drawing conversations every single day to achieve that. If you are telling yourself that you're going to go live in your group, if you've never done that, if you've got that written down and you're looking at it every single day, exactly as Caroline has just said, get yourself a magnetic whiteboard from Amazon and stick it on the fridge. Write your goals and visualize them every time you see the board. Absolutely amazing. That is literally a perfect example. I will be from now on with the Scentsy planner. Claire, I was just going to say, that's where I write mine. In the front section of the Scentsy planner is a little section right at the top, and you can write your goals for the month, how many parties you want to have. So whether that's like actual physical parties or qualifying orders, I write all mine in there. What I also do is, and I don't mind showing you because, hang on. This is another reason I love the Scentsy planner. And it made me quite emotional reading this at the beginning of, if I didn't write down my 2,000 PRV each month, I would not be reaching it. I work harder now and I've written it down. There is literally psychology behind writing your goals down. If you write them down, you're 42% more likely to achieve them. So I'm just going to show you, because I had my one from last year as well. So on a couple of nights ago, in the front, and you don't obviously have to have the Scentsy planner to do this. You can have any planner. But in the front of the Scentsy planner, these are not just thrown together. Like, these are obviously put together with, you know, with these things in mind. So in the front of the Scentsy planner, you've got a master goals list for the year, and then you've got a belief statement. And this is my one from last year. And then the other night I sat down and I wrote my one for this year. And I actually sat there, put my phone away, like made a cuppa, and I sat and I read what I'd written at this time last year. And it's not all about, like, there are obviously PRV goals in there, there's sponsoring goals, but a lot of it, the belief statement especially, is, this is why I said to you, if you haven't got this yet, it's okay, because you need to take the time, find a quiet space where you literally can just be like in your mind, in your heart, like the things that are personal to you. And it's so amazing to look back on them in a year's time and be like, do you know what, I did that. And there are some things on there that I didn't achieve this year, and that's okay too, because it's amazing to tick them off, but it's also amazing to go, do you know what, I didn't do that this year. I didn't earn annual, I know it's not finished yet, and I'm not there yet, but I didn't earn annual sales this year. I know it's not finished yet, so I know, but and I haven't earned annual mentor this year, but I did earn it the year before. So it's okay sometimes, you're not all, but if you hold yourself accountable, you can then use that as a point of reference to come back to. And it literally, honestly, sitting there just with my lamp on, completely silent, it was quite late, everyone was upstairs, and I got quite emotional and then it totally inspired me to really think about writing my statement for this year and my master goals for this year, for things that are like really important to me. And it's not always about a monetary goal. Some of it is a monetary goal, but it's about the things, about being the person that you want to be, and the consultant that I want to show up as, and the leader that I want to be, and how I'm going to look after myself, and like what is important to me with my family. And if you do that, and you really think about like the person that you have to become to be the consultant that you want to be, and then if you've written it down somewhere, you will put the action. I promise you that it just flicks a switch inside you, and you will put the action into place to make it happen. Scentsy planner is amazing. I can't just wrote mine in my Scentsy planner. I'm rubbish at this because I doubt myself and I don't want to feel, but I've done it. I'm all in. Amazing. I set my PFA goal on the workstation every month because I do find having a visual helps, but I so often look at it and then think I can't achieve it. Anna, you absolutely can. Going forward, every time you look at it and that little voice comes in your head, just imagine I'm in your ear going, yes, you can, yes, you can, yes, you can. You can do it. Honestly, have it in front of you. So whether you've got the Scentsy planner, whether you've got a planner, whether you've got a notebook that you bought in Tesco, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But somewhere after this training tonight, I want you to go away and think of 5 master goals for the year, let's call them. I'll write this in like a bullet pointy thing afterwards, and then a belief statement. So what it says is, this is what it says under the belief statement. Where do you see yourself and business going this year? Start brainstorming some ideas below. Remember, don't overthink it, just start writing. And that's the really important bit. Don't overthink it. Don't write down what you think you should be writing. Don't write down what you think somebody else's goals are going to be. Don't write down what you think you should be writing as a Scentsy consultant. Write down what is important to you, because what is important to me isn't necessarily going to be important to the next person. So, like I said, I will make some notes after and I'll put it down, but 5 master goals. What will you accomplish this year? Write down some goals and be amazed by what you can do. That's what it says. And then the belief statement, where do you see yourself and your business going this year? Start brainstorming some ideas below. Remember, don't overthink it and just start writing. In fact, you know what? I wasn't going to read it out. However, I'm not going to read all my master goals out because I'm going to keep them in here. But some of them are monetary, some of them are personal. But I will read you my belief statement, not the one from this year. I'm going to read you my one from last year. And when I read this out to Dan, I got really emotional because I was like, I honestly do believe I did live by these core values this year. And hopefully, if I read you this will inspire you to write your own. So, I wrote, to continue to evolve and grow as a superstar director, to always keep the joy, to stay true to who I am, to gain clarity and declutter spaces and my mind always. Remember, simplicity is key. To always remember to pour into me so I can pour into others. To know I can't run anyone's business for them, but I can keep showing up as my authentic self to inspire and shine a light into others. To consistently read, that is so important. To keep my mind as active as I keep my body. To travel, to take opportunities and always live in the moment. To say no when necessary, and to protect my energy at all costs, to be present in the moment that will soon become the wonderful memories. So that was my belief statement from last year. And I genuinely feel that I did live by those values in 2022. And I am taking those into 2023 and beyond, but I've added to them and I've evolved on them as well. So that is so important for you to do as well, because you need to think about the person that you want to show up as every day, the person that you need to be to become the best consultant, the best mum, the best wife, the best friend, whatever it may be, whatever is important to you. Because when you grow the person, you will grow the business. When you grow the person, I promise you, you will grow the business. And that, again, is something that I heard from Ben Francis, who is the founder of Gymshark, who founded a fitness brand that I love. I listened to his podcast, and he talked about when he started to say no to things that didn't serve him as a person. Stop spending your time with people. This is just some advice as you think about your year ahead. For that, like I said, all I can ever do is share what has worked for me. When you are spending time with people, if you come away and you feel drained and you feel just awful and you are questioning yourself and you are wondering if they're like talking about you, stop spending time with them. Like, honestly, that will have a definitive impact on your life. You get to choose every single day the circumstances that you put yourself in, the conversations that you engage in, the people that you surround yourself with. I know now some of you are probably thinking, well, I work somewhere and there's somebody that I get that because I've been there. But you can come away from that and you can detach yourself from it and you can choose whether you let that in. So as much as you possibly can, the people that you spend your time with, that you choose to spend your time with, the people, the environments, the conversations, the things that you watch, the things that you read, your social media feed. If you're like sitting and scrolling on social media and people are triggering you and people are making you question yourself and you are and it's putting you in the comparison game, stop following them. And I also know that some people have unfollowed me over the last 6 years, and that's okay, because people have actually messaged me and told me they've had to unfollow me because it triggers something in them and their insecurities. And that is nothing to do with me. And I am 100% fully okay with that now, because I understand that sometimes that's what people need to do to work on themselves. So you need to do that as well. You need to control and protect your energy at all times. And what you allow yourself to soak in is totally going to have an impact on your business. Well, if you hadn't moved away, I'd be out walking and brainstorm with you, but you left me. Sorry. I'm here now. I'm doing it on Zoom. And I did give you a hug yesterday. So I just ran up. We literally were leaving Essex and I ran to a dog, gave her a hug and left. Sorry. I will be back. I will see you again. I will see you also. Okay, right. So that is just hopefully something that will tick off that title of let's start dreaming a little bit bigger. Let's start thinking about the bigger picture. Let's start thinking about the person and not just selling a wax bar. Because when you grow the person, I promise you, you will grow the business. Okay, next. So, do you know, right, I'm going to come back to what Tony Robbins says. Scrolling social media is the worst for me. It drains me and makes me feel like I'm failing in so many ways. 100% when you see other people's Instagram life. I have to physically stop myself scrolling nowadays and shift myself into following up, planning ahead, scheduling more posts, etc., making the use of time for me. 1,000,000% clear. It's like being intentional with your time. I get fully that it is really easy to end up down a scroll hole and you're like, oh my God, I've been on my phone for like an hour. Don't do it. Honestly, the second you start to feel yourself doing that, literally put your phone down, go away, get a glass of water, make a cup of tea, whatever you want to do. And Dan will totally vouch for this now. Like, I'm so much better at that now. And sometimes he will find himself doing it. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you watching? And he's like, I know. But honestly, I promise you, it will be life-changing. Okay, let's come back to Tony Robbins. Do you know how to set goals? How often do you achieve the large objectives that are important to you? If you're having trouble following through with your goal planning, you may be tempted you may be tempted to stop trying. People say things like, oh, I'll just settle for what I have. But frequently, what's getting in the way of that achievement is the actual goal. If your goal is to lose weight, how will you know when that goal is complete? When you've lost £1, £5, or £40? Without a clear target, you'll never, ever hit your mark. So like I was saying earlier, it's like trying to get to a destination, but not having a sat nav and telling yourself how to get there. And it's also looking at your why, and we're going to look at that in a minute. That's why it's crucial to learn how to set goals that are clear and actionable. What is goal setting? Goal setting can look different depending on the individual's lifestyle, values, and definition of success. Your goals are totally unique to you, and they don't need to look like anybody else's. The classic goal setting definition boils down to the process of identifying something you want to accomplish and establishing measurable objectives and timeframes to help you achieve it. I.e., like Caroline said, if you want, and like Emma said, if you want 2,000 PRV, break that down into a weekly and then a daily amount, and then you know what you're working towards. And then it's like when I remember when I was going for director, I remember watching a training by Chloe and Justin Cox. If you don't follow them, go follow them on Instagram. They're amazing. YouTube as well. And basically they said, if you want to reach director, if you are aiming for director, you need 10,000 GWV, so 10,000 group volume. And they were like, technically, if you as a leader are like pushing for director, you are going to be pushing for 2,000 PRV or more every single month. Then you only need 4 more people to do the same. And I was like, wow, that's true. You only need 5 people that are pushing for 2,500 PRV, and boom, you're a director. I get that is not always the reality. But what I'm saying is, if you break it down into that simplistic way, I was like, wow, oh yeah, that's true. And it's the same if you are going for any promotion. Break it down into this person needs that, this person needs that, this person needs that. They're going to achieve their goals, they're going to achieve their goals, they're going to achieve theirs, and as a group, we are going to achieve that. It is literally living by the Scentsy core values, breaking it down into simplistic, actionable goals. I need to start doing income producing activities, cutting the fluff and stop discounting things. 100%. No need for fluff in this business. Okay. Setting progressive goals that allow small wins help you to move on to larger achievements. These small goals lead to progress, which is the only thing that you need to feel fulfilled and happy. And that is so true. Don't focus on the huge, massive end goal, because that is just going to overwhelm you. Focus on the broken down daily goals. And then before you know it, it's a little bit like, I love an analogy. This was Ant Middleton, when he talked about climbing Mount Everest. It's like, if I thought about climbing Mount Everest, it was like, I was never going to do it. It was like, I used to think about getting to each base camp. And then you get to the next base camp, and he went, and then you have to come down a little bit because it's like, it's a little bit cold. And then you climb up to the next one, and then you climb up to the next one. And then before you know it, you're at the top of a mountain. Don't think about the huge, massive goal. Goal setting is a fundamental key to success, whether it's learning a new skill, rekindling a relationship. Setting goals lets us create our future. It also helps us to grow and expand, pushing ourselves to transform in ways that we never imagined. In order to feel fulfilled, we need to know and feel like we're working towards achieving something. Tony Robbins says progress equals happiness, and that is so true. And setting goals helps us to get there. Effective goal setting lets you measure progress, overcome procrastination, and visualize your dreams. If you don't know what you're going to accomplish, you can't create a plan to get there. Setting goals is the vehicle that will drive you to your desired destination. Okay, I'm going to come back to the next page in a second. What I want to show you, and I'm sure probably most of you on here have seen this before now, but I always keep it in my office and I will keep it here forever, because it was the first vision board that I ever made. And there's no pictures on it, it's just words, but some of them are so important that they're still, you know, important for us to see every day. Like some of it's nearly rubbed off now, but I'm sure you've all seen this. I'm sure you've all seen this. Has literally been around for years. But coming back to what Caroline said, this was up in our first house. This was up in the first house before we ever bought a house. In the house that we were renting, and then in our first home, and then it's moved everywhere with me, and then it has been there. And I am really proud to say everything that was on this board has been achieved. But it was there for like 5 years. It was there and I looked at it every single day. Every single day on the side of my fridge was this vision board. If you haven't seen it, I'm just going to read it out to you. So, static caravan, new kitchen, we moved, loft conversion, we moved, back to Florida with Finley. Now, technically that one happened because we are supposed to be going in May, but obviously we didn't know what was going to happen with Finley and we didn't know his additional challenges. So that will happen one day, but it's just been put on the back burner a little bit for now. And superstar director. Daily goals for all. So that, I think these are super important just forever. Find happiness in every day, work hard, be grateful, don't worry about unimportant issues, be present, live in the moment, never stop dreaming, be kind, really important, and a little bit of Walt Disney at the bottom. All of our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. And I will forever leave this in here to remind me of, because my Scentsy journey has never stopped just because I've reached SSD. So it's a whole new set of goals now, but it was so important because I remember literally looking at that every single day and it had such a huge definitive impact. And I never share these things to go like, oh, look what I've done, but to not to impress you, but to impress upon you, this stuff works. I don't know how, I don't know why, but it does. So get your goals and get them where you can see them, whether that's daily, weekly, monthly, or huge, big life goals. Okay, what time are we on? 8:42, we're all right. Goal setting keeps you accountable. Whether you're learning how to set goals at work or in your personal life, telling others about your goals makes you more likely to establish the patterns that will help you to accomplish them, like I just said. Here, we'll cover how to set goals to ensure you achieve them. You learn what makes a compelling goal as well as the steps you need. So, firstly, you need to visualize where you want to be. You will have heard me say this so many times. What you focus on, you feed. What you focus on, you feed. Where focus goes, energy flows. So it is critical to focus on your goals. Visualization is one powerful way to do this. When you visualize your goals on a daily basis, as if you've already achieved them, you align your purpose and values with your actions. So if you literally start visualizing where you want to be, you will start putting the practices into place every day to help you make them happen. Okay, 2, keep yourself accountable. Find a friend, family member, or other person that you trust and share your list of goals with them. You can also share it with a mentor or a life coach. You can share them with me, share them in the group, share them with the team. When I ask you every single month to share your goals in the group, I'm not doing it to make you feel uncomfortable or just for the sake of it. When you say them out loud and you keep yourself accountable, honestly and truly, you will put the work in. I do this with Georgie, amazing. It is so important because you are in a safe space with your Scentsy family. Nobody's ever going to look at your goals and laugh at them or think anything of them other than cheerleading you to achieve them. So sharing your list will make you more accountable and give you a partner who will work through any frustrations or roadblocks that you may find. Okay, track your progress. Super important. It's a reason why in the front of the planner we have the tracker for annual sales. It's a reason why in the planner it asks you there's a section to track your numbers, as in like your PRV, your team. Tracking, again, keeps you accountable. If you're thinking about something consistently, it's going to be at the forefront of your mind when you want to take it to the next level. Celebrate your successes. So important. Like, so important. Goal setting doesn't have to be a boring set of tasks just for you to check off. When you're planning your goals, include ways to celebrate your successes. If you're working towards financial freedom, set aside a budget for a nice dinner when you reach a certain goal. Celebrate relationship milestones. Got that promotion, share it with the world and celebrate it. It will help you to stay focused while also being present in the moment. This is why I cannot stress this enough. When people come into the group and I'm like, oh, you know, shout yourself out if you've achieved something, or I'm so vocal about, you know, celebrating each other, shouting each other out, and being okay with shouting yourself out. It is fully okay to be proud of yourself. There's a difference between arrogance and pride. And there's so many people that I see come into Scentsy and I'm like, you should totally shout yourself out, like you should be proud of that. And they're like, oh no, I don't want to come across as. You can 100% be proud of your achievements and remain humble. You can 100% be proud of your achievements and not be arrogant. you should be proud of your achievements, and you need to become comfortable with exactly. Pride is such a misunderstood emotion because you never know who you are inspiring. I'm telling you now, there are people watching your Scentsy journey that have never commented, never told you, never bought a product from you, but watch your stories. There are people now, even 6 years on, that like something will happen and they'll message me. Like there were people when we moved to this house that sent me beautiful messages that have never bought Scentsy from me, that are on my social media, maybe people I went to school with, or people I went to college with, or people I've maybe worked with over the years. And they're like, I have been watching what you have been doing, and like, you should be really proud of yourself. And people are watching, but if you don't give them something to watch, they're never going to be inspired. And I don't mean that in a woohoo. Well, it is a bit, look what I've done, because there are literally people at home that I know and you know would 100% benefit from being part of this community, would 100% benefit from stepping out of their comfort zone and building their confidence and earning we all know this. We all know that there are people that could benefit from this. But if we don't share this opportunity, and we don't share our achievements, and we don't share, share this, take a picture, take a screenshot, share it on your stories, share it on your social media, tag in your team, tag me, whatever. Share that we do things like this, because I personally certainly know from being in various industries over the years, firstly, recognition is not a huge thing. Firstly, I never had a goal setting Zoom or training when and loads of the things that we do, the recognition, the cheering each other on. I put up a post earlier about let me read it to you. I put this on my social media earlier. I saw it from a business coach that I follow. So it says 2023 mantra: I cheer on other women and men, obviously, because I'm not them and they are not me, and we are all meant to shine differently. And it is so flipping true. There is far too many industries and far too many cultures. There's a whole like backstabbing. Well, if she's, like, no, not here, not in this Scentsy community, not in this group, not in this team, not on my watch. We do not do that. We celebrate each other. And it's really, 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 really important that we let people know that, because if they don't see what you are part of, how are they ever going to know if they want to be part of it? How are they ever going to know like what we do if we don't tell them? So it's so important when I'm sharing stuff, when people are hitting promotions or earning incentives or doing a live video or getting a sale, and I'm tagging them and shouting them out, and people are like, oh, don't tag me. I'm like, why? Please let me celebrate you, because I will forever be your biggest cheerleader, and you need to become your own biggest cheerleader. Because again, that feeling of, firstly, when you start to achieve these things yourself, and then when you start to build a team, and honestly, and then you start to see your team members achieving it, it's like, and I mean this in the only way that it can be received, it's like when your children do something. I don't mean that in a bad way, but I remember when I reached SSD and Joanne Davison messaging me, and she said, like, it's like she said, I feel like when my daughters, like, went to college and grew up and flew the nest. And it is so true. When you start to see your team members achieving these things, it is just a wonderful, wonderful feeling. So get comfortable with celebrating your successes and sharing it with the world. Last thing from Tony Robbins. I feel embarrassed that I'm kicking myself for not working as much as everyone else. But it doesn't matter, Marie, how much you're working in comparison to everyone else. It matters what you're doing for you. It doesn't matter what other people are doing. It matters what you're doing for you and your life and your business. So don't ever feel like that. Okay. Why is goal setting important? Imagine yourself older and looking back. What's the pain? What's the pain from not achieving? And what is the pleasure from having achieved your goals? Effective goal setting helps you stay focused, keeps you accountable, and is the single most important aspect of reaching your dreams. And it really, really is. I watched, while I was wrapping Christmas presents, the Royal Variety show was on. And there was like a montage with a beautiful song over it of all the people, like all the celebrities, like actors, singers, various people from that profession, various professions that had passed away in 2022. And there was this beautiful montage of people, and like There were people from all ages, people that I didn't even know had died. And Tom from The Wanted was on there. And when he passed away, like this, it like literally hit me like a lightning bolt because he was so young. But watching that, I literally sat there and I put down the wrapping and I was like, why is everybody waiting? Why is everybody waiting to step out, like to literally run like they're on fire to all the things that they want to achieve in their life? Because you only get one life. And I literally watched that and all the people that had passed away. And I honestly, I just sat there and I was like, I literally want to walk around the streets and like shake people and go like, what are you waiting for? Stop. Just stop letting other people dictate your life. Stop not doing the things that you want to do. Stop not just flipping going for it, because you're not here forever and your life is not infinite and it is so fragile and it can be taken away at any time. At any time. I don't know about you, but like I'm 40 in a few weeks, and as I'm getting older, like I've always thought like this, but as I'm getting older, it is so apparent, like you're not going to live forever. You are not going to live forever. So why the hell are you not just going for everything that you want? Like, what's the worst that can happen? Just go for it. And if it doesn't work out, like, what is it? If you reach for the moon, you're going to land amongst the stars. Life is really, really, really flipping short. And you need to start, you don't want to look back at the end of your life and think, oh, why didn't I just go for it? Why didn't I? And these are the things that you, like I said, when you get all deep in yourself and you're writing your belief statement for the year ahead and the years ahead, and you know, that's as deep as you need to go, because honestly, life is amazing and wonderful, but it's not going to last forever. So it's really important that you start thinking that big and remembering like, this is it. This is the only one you're going to get. So you need to start going for it. Right. Okay. Before we go, I am going to try and screen share, because I've got a really short, it's 3 minutes long, a YouTube clip from Sawkins-Scentsy. And I remember when I first saw this clip, it was on Accelerated Leadership with the wonderful Holly Baker, who is no longer our country manager, and she will be very sadly missed. And they are extremely colourful, wonderful, shoes to fill. I was trying to think of another describing word to describe Holly, but she's obviously amazing. But when I did Accelerated Leadership training with Holly, she played us this clip of Sawkins-Scentsy, Why, like Start With Why. He wrote a wonderful book called Start With Why. And what I'd also like you to think about when you're thinking about setting your goals and writing your belief statement is really, 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 really thinking about why you joined Scentsy. Why you are doing this, why you get up every day and work your Scentsy business. And then every time you think of a why, ask yourself why again. So think about it like this. I joined Scentsy because I want to earn an extra £500 a month. Why? Because I've got loads of credit cards. Why? Because I'm stuck in a job that I hate and I don't earn enough money. Why? Because I've never been brave enough to, and go that deep. So go as deep as, you know, not just I want to be able to take my children on holiday or whatever it may be. Every time you get to a why, just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper into your why, and then you'll get the real reason why you're doing this. And that is the reason that you need to go to every single day. So, oh my God, I literally can't remember how to do this. Should have practiced earlier. Anyone knows how to screen share on Zoom? Drop it in the comments. This is really bad because right, hang on. Oh. Can you all see that?
It's working.
Yay. Right, okay. I am going to play this for you.
About 3.5 years ago, I made a discovery. And this discovery profoundly changed my view on how I thought the world worked, and it even profoundly changed the way in which I operated it. As it turns out, there's a pattern. As it turns out, all the great and inspiring leaders and organizations in the world, whether it's Apple or Martin Luther King or the Wright brothers, they all think, act, and communicate the exact same way And it's the complete opposite to everyone else. All I did was codify it. And it's probably the world's simplest idea. I call it the golden circle. Why, how, what? This little idea explains why some organizations and some leaders are able to inspire where others aren't. Let me define the terms really quickly. Every single person, every single organization on the planet knows what they do 100%. Some know how they do it, whether you call it your differentiating value proposition or your proprietary process or your USP. But very, very few people or organizations know why they do what they do. And by why, I don't mean to make a profit. That's a result. It's always a result. By why, I mean, what's your purpose? What's your cause? What's your belief? Why does your organization exist? Why do you get out of bed in the morning? And why should anyone care? Well, as a result, the way we think, the way we act, the way we communicate is from the outside in. It's obvious. We go from the clearest thing to the fuzziest thing. But the inspired leaders and the inspired organizations, regardless of their size, regardless of their industry, all think, act, and communicate from the inside out. Let me give you an example. I use Apple because they're easy to understand and everybody gets it. If Apple were like everyone else, a marketing message from them might sound like this. We make great computers. They're beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. Want to buy one? Meh. And that's how most of us communicate. That's how most marketing is done. That's how most sales is done. And that's how most of us communicate interpersonally. We say what we do. We say how we're different or how we're better. And we expect some sort of behavior, a purchase, a vote, something like that. Here's our new law firm. We have the best lawyers with the biggest clients. We have, we always perform for our clients, do business with us. Here's our new car. It gets great gas mileage. It has, leather seats. Buy our car. But it's uninspiring. Here's how Apple actually communicates. Everything we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. The way we challenge the status quo is by making our products beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. We just happen to make great computers. Want to buy one? Totally different, right? You're ready to buy a computer from me. All I did was reverse the order of the information. What it proves to us is that people don't buy what you do, people buy why you do it. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. This explains why every single person in this room is perfectly comfortable buying a computer from Apple. But we're also perfectly comfortable buying an MP3 player from Apple, or a phone from Apple, or a DVR from Apple. But as I said before, Apple's just a computer company. There's nothing that distinguishes them structurally from any of their competitors. Their competitors are all equally qualified to make all of these products. In fact, they tried. A few years ago, Gateway came out with flat screen TVs. They're eminently qualified to make flat screen TVs. They've been making flat screen monitors for years. Nobody bought one.
Okay, so.
Hey, business owner, please do not sell at the end of your presentation. What do I mean? Look, if you're a business owner and you're doing webinars, you're doing virtual events or a live stage performance somewhere, and you're performing in front of an audience of people that you'd like potentially to become a paying client of yours, the biggest mistake you could ever make is to do your pitch at the very...
See? Right. Oh, you can't hear me now, can you? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, you can. Okay. Right. Oh my God. Right, hang on. Stop share. You cannot hear me, right? Yeah. Okay. See, I don't know what I'm doing. Well, I do know what I'm doing, but I just couldn't work out how to stop that. So anyway, to summarize what Simon Sinek said, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of Scentsy consultants in the world. And you have heard me say this many, many times. You need to find out why you're doing it. And then that will be your reason. And then when you are authentically sharing why you're doing it, your people, your customers, your future teamies will relate to you exactly as mine relate to me, and Katrina's relate to her, and Tina's relate to her, and Emma's relate. You need to be a real person and find out why you are doing this. And that will have a huge impact on your business. So 1 hour, I've kept it in 1 hour. Before we wrap this up, does anybody have any questions? Like, feel free to unmute yourselves, anything you want to share, anything else to add to this. Like, honestly, the floor is yours. Like, feel free to unmute yourself and away you go. Anyone? Okay. Well, has anyone got any questions or anything before we wrap this up? If you don't, that's absolutely cool. But what I will say is, so to summarize, after tonight, go away, take some time, think about your like 5 major goals for the year in relation to your business. Obviously, you can set goals in other areas of your life as well, but 5 things that you would like to achieve in your Scentsy business this year. Okay, next, write a belief statement. Where do you see yourself and your business going this year? Start brainstorming some ideas. Remember, don't overthink it, just start writing. Third, I would love to just want to thank Emma for always cheering us on and believing us, and even when we haven't always showed up. Absolutely amazing. That is what this, I totally agree. That is what the Scentsy community is about. Amazing, Marie. Third thing, I would love for you all to make a vision board. Whether you write it down, whether you go take pictures. If you Google vision boards on Google, like, there's loads and loads and loads of different ideas and things that you can do. But I would absolutely love for you to all go away this week and make a vision board, and, you know, feel free to upload them in our group, whether you want to upload them on your social media, whether you want to send them to me, whatever you want to be. I would love to see your vision boards if you feel comfortable sharing them, because again, like I said, sharing them with somebody that is going to keep you accountable will massively help. So drop me in the comments who's going to make a vision board this week. Was your vision board done with Dan or with you? So we do 2 different things. So that vision board was done on my own, because that was very much in the days when Dan went off to work and I was at home. What we do when we put our Christmas tree away, it's something that we've done for the last few years. We all write a goal and we put it away with the Christmas tree or the Christmas decorations, like each one of us. We've done it for the last 2 years. When we got them out the other day, one of Ella's was she wanted to earn a pen license when she was learning to write in pen at school. Harry's was, one of them was something to do with football. One of mine was hit director, like from a couple of years ago. So we do set goals as a family. We do all set a goal or a couple of goals for the year and put them away with the Christmas decorations. But that particular vision board, that was done on my own. But to be honest, I do need to make a new one now we're in this house. So yeah, we talk about our big goals and dreams and visions together all the time. Please, can you do the 3 things again? Which ones? What do you mean, Louise? I've done mine already. It's a blackboard like your old one. Louise, message me or drop in the comments. Do you mean the belief statement? Let me know which 2 things you mean, my love. But I will 100% do it again, whatever it is that you mean. My mind has just gone blank. I love that pinching that I did. Oh, I love it, honestly. And it's fab, because then every year, like, we get the decorations out and we're like, oh, we've done it. Okay, so yes, I would 100% love to see your vision boards. And also, if you do share them on your social media, or you share them, or it's going to spark a little bit of intrigue, and people might be like, oh, sorry, the 3 things. Yeah, sorry. 5 goals, 5 master goals for the year. Write yourself a belief statement and make a vision board. Don't feel like you need to go away and do them all tonight. I don't mean that at all. Just over the next couple of weeks, the 3 things you have to do. Sorry, my love. That's just my little mind going off. But yeah, what I'll do as well after this Zoom, I will, when I upload the recording, I'll write them. I'll write little bullet points so they're in the group as well. But thank you all for being here. I have to be not so hard on myself. If I don't hit my goals, I get so disappointed. 100%, because like I said at the beginning, life is never happening to you. It's happening for you. So the last thing, and do you know what's so important? That's amazing that you just said that, Tina. It's when in relation to your Scentsy business, it's so important to know, well, with everything actually, but let's put this into context of your Scentsy business. It is so important that you know your journey is not going to be linear. It is not going to be smooth. It is not going to be up all the way. It's just not. That just doesn't happen. That is just not real life. And it's actually really amazing that it's not, because then every single time you go through something and you don't achieve something first time, or you do stumble, or you do come up against a challenge, or you do come up against something, when you are actually able to overcome them, you like build up a resilience, and it's like a suit of armor almost. And then the next time it happens, because inevitably it will happen again, you will have the tools and you'll have something in your tool belt to help you deal with it. The example I'm going to give you, and Katrina, I know we've spoken about this, Caroline, Emma, I'm sure we've spoken about this as well. When I was going for director, when I was aiming to hit director, I am not exaggerating when I say I was close, as in like GWV close, for about 6 months. Like every single month it was getting closer and closer and closer and closer and closer and closer. And I said the same to Jo Davison. I used to like really beat myself up, and she was like, it will happen when it happens. Doesn't matter when other people hit it, doesn't matter, like everybody's journey is the same. And it is so important that you hit these goals organically, because if you are, I'm just using director as an example. If you are like pushing and pushing for director, and you like buy product, not saying that that is what you would do, but if you think, oh, I'm just going to buy it so I can hit director this month, amazing, you've hit director, but you're not going to maintain it, and you're not going to hit it every month. So it doesn't matter. Superstar director, right? When we were going, we had, like as a group, we were consistently hitting the group numbers for Superstar Director for about 18 months before we actually became a Superstar Director group. Like every single month, every single month, every single month, every single month, we were hitting the numbers. But to become a Superstar Director, you need 4 frontline, as in people that I've sponsored, people that hit director. 4 or 5, 4. Oh my God, I feel like I'm totally giving you the information. It's not, it's 4. It's 4. But what then happens is when you reach these things in your business, you're then going to hit them consistently. And one thing I can say, and I don't know if I ever actually have shared this, but every single, basically whatever title I've been within Scentsy, I've always been paid at title. In 6 years, there's never a month I haven't been paid at title. Whatever month, whatever title that has been, I've always been paid at title, because it's taken me longer, or what I may have seen as failures along the way, to get there. But it's not failures, because then when you actually hit it, or when you actually do it, you will keep it. And what I also must say is, if you do hit a title and then you come back down and then you need to get back there, that's okay too, because then that's your journey. So everybody's journey is so unique and so individual, and so, but understand that everything you do go through, and everything that does happen is meant to happen. It's supposed to happen to help you. Life's never happening to you. It's happening for you to help you grow. Right, I am going to go, yes, because I know bedroom routine calls me. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've taken something from it. I hope you are all inspired to, this is my first group room and I find it really useful. Oh my God, I'm so chuffed. Honestly, we are totally going to do this more. I promise you. Now I'm here and I'm in this house and we're all settled. Like I've got so many plans for 2023, but consistent plans, like things that I want to start doing regularly, maybe not every week, maybe, you know, at least once a month. We will do this and we'll have a different topic or a different speaker, and I just, so you've all got like different things to be inspired by. So I cannot wait to see your vision boards. I can't wait to hear when you're achieving your goals. If you've got any wobbles, if you want an accountability person, like just honestly lean into your Scentsy team, lean into your community. Never ever think that you're alone, because you're not. And oh my God, I love this, people's first things. And I can't wait to see you all at World Tour. And if I'm not seeing you at World Tour, there will be Scentsy Family Reunion, and there will be lots of other things over the year. So thank you so much for being here. I am super excited for 2023 and beyond. Let's make it our best year yet. Right, thanks guys. I'll see you soon.
Thanks, all.